In 2025, the world faces a new era of great power rivalry. The post-Cold War order is gone, replaced by a complex contest shaped by geography, technology, and economic ties. At the center, the United States and China, each wielding military power as an extension of their ambitions and fears. This isn't a simple arms race or a replay of the past, it's a struggle for influence, especially in the Indo-Pacific, the world's economic engine and the crossroads of global trade. For the US, keeping sea lanes open and alliances strong is vital. For China, control of its near seas is existential, a buffer and a springboard to global power. The stakes are high, not just military dominance, but the future of governance, economic models, and international norms. The US champions a liberal order. China seeks to reshape it to fit its own interests. China's rapid military modernization now forces Washington to rethink its strategy. The military balance in 2025 will help decide who sets the rules for the 21st century. This is more than a standoff, it's a test of endurance, innovation, and vision. The world's stability depends on how these two giants manage their rivalry. The outcome will shape the global order for decades. The question is not who wins a single battle, but who can sustain influence across the globe. The Indo-Pacific is the main arena, but the consequences are global. The world watches as the US and China redefine power in the 21st century. In 2025, the US military remains unmatched in global reach and technological prowess. Its defense budget and network of alliances provide a foundation no rival can match. Stealth aircraft, nuclear carriers, and advanced satellites give America a hard power edge. Yet new threats loom. China's precision missiles and rapid modernization challenge US dominance, especially in Asia. The Pentagon is pivoting, investing in AI, hypersonics, unmanned systems, and resilient networks. Concepts like JDC-2 aim to connect every asset, making US forces faster and more adaptive. America's greatest strength may be its people and alliances, highly trained volunteers and deep partnerships with Japan, South Korea, Australia, and NATO. These alliances multiply US power and legitimacy in ways China cannot replicate. The US military is transforming, betting on innovation to offset China's growing numbers and proximity. The cohesion of these alliances is as crucial as any weapon system. In 2025, American power is defined by adaptability, technology, and the strength of its global partnerships. The question, can the US stay ahead in a rapidly changing world? China's military rise is unprecedented, transforming from a regional force to a global challenger in a single generation. Decades of focused investment have produced a modern high-tech PLA with global ambitions. China's strategy targets US vulnerabilities, especially with anti-access and area denial weapons like carrier-killer missiles. The PLA Navy is now the world's largest by ship count, launching advanced warships and carriers at breakneck speed. China's Air Force fields stealth fighters and is developing long-range bombers, while its space and cyber capabilities threaten US assets. Yet, the PLA lacks recent combat experience and struggles with joint operations and command initiative. Corruption and a lack of true allies remain challenges. China's modernization is impressive, but its ability to match US operational effectiveness is still unproven. The world is watching to see if China's new power translates into real-world dominance. The next great power conflict may be decided in cyberspace and the electromagnetic spectrum, not just on land or sea. In 2025, both the US and China wield formidable cyber and electronic warfare capabilities. Cyber attacks are constant, targeting infrastructure, defense networks, and industry. The US has created Cyber Command to defend and strike, while China's Strategic Support Force centralizes its cyber, space, and electronic warfare. Both sides seek information dominance to blind, disrupt, and outpace the enemy before shots are fired. AI and autonomous systems are the new arms race, with both nations pouring resources into smarter, faster decision-making tools. The risk of escalation and blurred lines between espionage and war make this domain especially dangerous. Whoever best integrates AI and cyber into military operations will hold a decisive edge. The future battlefield will be faster, more automated, and more unpredictable than ever. In 2025, the race for digital supremacy is just beginning. The Indo-Pacific is the main stage for US-China military rivalry. For decades, the US Navy ruled these waters, projecting power with carrier strike groups and a global base network. Now, China's navy is the world's largest by ship count, rapidly modernizing and focusing on controlling the first and second island chains. China's new carriers and submarines backed by land-based missiles threaten U.S. dominance and force American ships to operate farther from China's coast. The U.S. Navy is adapting with distributed operations, long-range missiles, and unmanned systems to counter China's anti-access bubble. The contest is a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with both sides racing to outmaneuver and out-innovate each other. The balance is dynamic, neither side holds clear supremacy. The Indo-Pacific's future will be shaped by who can adapt faster and operate more effectively in this contested space. Every move is watched by allies and rivals alike. The outcome will define the region's security for years to come. Land forces are often overlooked, but they remain vital in U.S.-China competition. The U.S. Army and Marines are the world's most experienced, shifting focus from counterinsurgency to high-intensity conflict. New investments in precision artillery, advanced vehicles, and mobile forces are underway. The Marine Corps is transforming for island hopping and rapid deployment within missile range. China's PLA ground force is the world's largest, modernizing with new tanks, artillery, and amphibious capabilities, preparing for scenarios like a Taiwan invasion. A direct land war is unlikely. Instead, land forces would play supporting roles in a Taiwan conflict, using long-range strikes and dispersed operations. The real test is whether either side can integrate land, sea, and air power in a complex, joint fight. In 2025, both armies are preparing for a new kind of war, one defined by speed, technology, and coordination. Air superiority has long been America's trump card. The U.S. fields the world's most advanced stealth fighters and bombers, enabling global reach and precision strikes. China's Air Force is rapidly modernizing, deploying stealth fighters like the J-20 and developing new bombers to threaten U.S. bases. Geography favors China near its shores, allowing massed aircraft and dense air defenses to challenge U.S. operations. The U.S. is countering with new stealth bombers, sixth-generation fighters, and autonomous drone wingmen. The contest is now about quality versus quantity, technology versus proximity. China's integrated air defenses make the skies over the Western Pacific highly contested. The race for air dominance is closer than ever, with both sides innovating at breakneck speed. In 2025, control of the skies is no longer guaranteed for either side. Military might is only part of the equation. Alliances and partnerships are just as crucial. The U.S. holds a decisive advantage with its global network of allies, especially in the Indo-Pacific. Treaty partners like Japan, South Korea, Australia, and the Philippines provide forward presence and strategic depth. China's rise has pushed many regional states closer to the U.S., strengthening old alliances and forging new ones. Initiatives like AUKUS and the Quad reflect growing cooperation to counterbalance China. China, by contrast, lacks formal allies, relying instead on economic leverage and partnerships of convenience. Its no-limits partnership with Russia is more symbolic than operational. Economic statecraft can backfire, pushing countries toward the U.S. when resentment grows. The region's middle powers, Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, will play a pivotal role in shaping the balance. The U.S. is weaving its alliances into a more resilient, interconnected network. China seeks to build a Sino-centric order, but faces resistance. The contest for influence in Asia is as important as any arms race. In 2025, the U.S.-China military balance is a tense standoff. American supremacy has faded, but Chinese dominance is not assured. Each side has strengths and vulnerabilities. The risk of miscalculation is real, especially in flashpoints like Taiwan or the South China Sea. A full-scale war would be catastrophic for both nations and the world. The real challenge is managing competition, finding ways to coexist, compete, and cooperate where interests align. Open communication and clear red lines are essential to prevent crises from spiraling into conflict. The contest is a marathon, testing national will, innovation, and diplomacy. The U.S. must adapt and reinvest in its strengths. China must manage internal and external challenges. The future will be shaped by daily decisions in Washington and Beijing, not a single decisive battle. The world's stability depends on wise leadership and restraint. The story of U.S.-China rivalry in 2025 is still being written.